All right, guys. So we're going to go over the next chapter now. It's going to be chapter 2. This is automotive careers and ASE certifications. All right. After studying this chapter, you will be able to list the most common automotive careers and related fields of employment, describe the types of skills needed to be a qualified automotive technician, explain the specialized tasks completed by each type of automotive technician, summarize the ASE certification program. All right, the automotive technician. This person makes a living diagnosing, servicing, and repairing cars, vans, and light trucks. They're highly skilled, well-trained, and performs a wide variety of tasks. So a long time ago, we used to be called mechanics. We've gotten away from that. Started being called automotive technicians. This is because it takes a lot of skill to be able to work on vehicles nowadays. There's a lot of technical information we gotta know. You have to know a lot of different jobs when it comes to working on cars. It's not just turning nuts and bolts anymore and just replacing parts. There's a very technical side of it, and you have to really figure out how those technical sides work to really be able to work on a vehicle nowadays. Sorry about that. All right. The automotive technician performs common tasks for many different trades. They can be a machinist, so making metal parts, stuff like that. Plumber, computer technician, residential, commercial electrician, electronic technician, TV radio technician, air conditioning technician, welder, bookkeeper, and automotive engineer. So it takes a lot of different things to help you work on vehicles. A vehicle contains so many things now that it involves a lot of different trades to work on. If you're working on RV systems and stuff or tour buses, you could be having to work on plumbing and stuff like that. Every vehicle has a whole bunch of computers and things. Computers communicating with each other. So you have to be very skilled with how computers work and stuff. You have radios in it, so you got to understand how radios work, air conditioning, even welding, and some automotive technician jobs, you might have to be a bookkeeper. So you might end up being someone that's helped running the shop and stuff. So you're going to have to keep the books and keep how the money is flowing in the shop and stuff like that. Keep track of all of that. Right. There's general job classifications, such as apprentice, specialized technician, master technician, shop supervisor, and a service manager. There's a multiple different levels that you can be at in a automotive shop and dealerships working. You can rise up through any one of those jobs to get to the next level and stuff. So let's see. All right. Other automotive careers you can get as well is auto parts store specialist. So someone working in parts store selling parts. Service writer. Service writers are the ones, if you go to an automotive shop or a dealership to have a vehicle worked on, they're the first person you're going to talk to. They're the ones that are going to take down all your information, ask you what's going on with your vehicle, and they're also going to help write estimates and stuff like that. So they're going to pass the info on to the technician, so the technician can see what the customer's having or what the customer's issue is, and they can hopefully repair it. Service dispatcher. Some shops and dealerships have this, especially if they're very big. So it's service dispatcher kind of knows what everybody's skill level is. So when people come in the shop and they have an issue with their vehicle or something, the dispatcher can put it to the most capable hands so it'll be fixed and repaired correctly. Auto salesperson, this is the person selling cars. I've worked pretty much every level there is in a dealership. I've even tried to sell cars, and that's quite a difficult job. So if you're good at that, good on you and everything. And automotive designer, so you could actually be the person designing vehicles for manufacturers and stuff, and designing how they look, how they function, and stuff like that. Script isn't working. Hang on. Okay. Entrepreneurship. This is someone who starts a business. So entrepreneur is someone who starts a business. Good entrepreneurs, they're able to organize all aspects of business, possesses leadership qualities, have courage to set course of actions, cooperate with others to meet goals, accept responsibility for their actions, takes actions to correct mistakes, and they also share the glory. So a good entrepreneur is going to share all those aspects. It takes a lot to start a business, and it takes a lot to build that business up and make it successful. Anybody can start a business, but for it to be successful, it takes a lot of skill and a lot of and different things and different qualities to help make it successful. So those are a lot of the main things that a good entrepreneur is going to have. The biggest one to me is that last one, share the glory, because it doesn't just take one person to make a business great. It takes everybody. It's a team effort to make that business great. So next, preparing for a career in automotive technician. Preparing for a career in automotive technology. So automotive technicians, they require above average math and English skills. It takes a lot to be a technician nowadays. You do need no math, especially if you're going to be a service writer, because you're going to be writing up estimates and things like that, as well as taking measurements and other aspects of working on the car. You're going to have to be pretty good at math to really know what you're doing when it comes to measurements. We'll get into a lesson about measurements and stuff a little bit later as well, and you'll see how all of that plays into it. English skills, as well as good verbal skills, those are very important qualities. We've gone away from where the automotive technician was hidden away in the shop in the back. No one ever saw them, and was just a service writer to talk to the people, to the customers. Now, the technician is talking to customers more, explaining how the vehicle is broken or faulty or whatever. They're going to explain that, be able to explain it well so the customer understands it, possibly show them what's going on, tell them how it's going to be fixed, how the best way to fix it, or any options that they have. That way the customer is knowledgeable on their choice when they decide how they're going to want to go and repair the vehicle. After high school, there's many automotive students. After high school, many automotive students seek further training at trade schools or in colleges. So there's many different schools you can go to after high school. You have UTI and WyoTech, which are trade schools, so you only learn the skill. They're kind of expensive. And they teach things very quickly. So if you're a fast learner, if you're really serious about those are great schools. I went to UTI down in Florida. I learned a lot there, but then once I got out, I continued learning. So I continued going to different schools once I got out. I let when I worked at jobs and stuff like that, anytime they had an opportunity I could go to another school and learn some more information, I jumped on it. Technology's constantly changing. When you get out of school, no matter what level of school is, you're not going to know everything. You're going to have to keep pursuing more and more education. You also have community college. So around here, we have Pitt Community College. It's a great school. They have a great program there, very big shop in their own building and stuff like that. Down the road, we have Wayne Community College. They also have an awesome program, their own building. They have manufacturer support, so you can get manufacturer certifications, as well as body shop. So if you want to learn body collision and repair, painting and stuff like that, you can learn that there as well. I'm not 100% sure Pitt has that. I don't think they do, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So, but there's a lot of different great options. I personally believe that there should be a 4-year degree as far as automotive goes, with the way technology is and how advanced cars are. Just learning stuff in 2 years isn't enough. We need a little bit more, and we need a little bit more vigorous courses when you get to those levels. But that's what we have now. But those are great options. You never want to stop learning. You're going to want to pursue more educations every single day in this career. All right, so ASE certifications. ASE is the National Institute for Automotive Service Excellence. So ASE stands for Automotive Service Excellence. Remember that. You will see that again multiple times in these classes. You will see that on your test, final exams. I can bet you will see that. So ASE is a nonprofit, non-affiliated organization or institution. Helps ensure the highest standards in automotive service. ASE certifications use written tests to provide knowledge of automotive technology. The tests are voluntary, so you don't have to take it. You don't have to have ASEs to work in shops. However, it is a good thing to have. This gets your foot in the door. So if it shows that you're taking ASEs, that's showing that you are very serious about pursuing your career in this industry. It's showing that you're willing to take the extra steps to be the best technician there is out there and learn as much as you can so you can be very knowledgeable on your crafts. All right, automobile and light truck ASE certification test. So these are your engine repairs, automatic transmission, transaxle, manual drivetrain and axles, suspension and steering, brakes, electrical electronic systems, heat and air conditioning, engine performance, and light vehicle diesel engines. So these are your light truck ASEs. The numbers you see beside them, that's the number that represents those certifications. So if you go on ASE.com and you search to take a test, you can use those numbers to find which test you want to take. All right, your ASE test categories, they're auto maintenance and light repair. That's what this class mainly focuses on, is the maintenance and light repair, or also known as MLR. You also have automobile and light truck, collision repair and refinish, damage analysis and estimates, automobile service consultant, truck equipment, and alternative fuels. So there's a lot of different areas you could actually test in. So you can test in body shop stuff. You can test in service writing. You can test in EV and things like that. So it's not just repairing, regular little trucks and cars. It could be other things as well. It even goes on to transit buses, advanced engine performance specialists, light duty hybrid electric vehicle specialists, electronic diesel engine diagnosis specialist, port specialist, school bus, medium heavy truck, undercar specialist, and exhaust system. So you can tell there is a lot of different categories that you can take multiple tests in and be certified in. So school buses, transit buses, so city buses and things like that. Part specialists, so part store people. So if it's dealing with the automotive industry and some type of repairs in that industry, there's going to be an ASE certification test for that. There's going to be categories for that. All right, so applying for ASE test, you must have 2 years of experience as an automotive technician. So this shows that you have worked in the automotive field for 2 years, that you do have some hands-on experience. You're not just, someone that's a good test taker and stuff. Training programs or apprenticeships are available if you can find them. These can be substituted for work experience requirements. So if you take a training program through ASE or apprenticeships, you can get certifications. When you're, you can get like student ASEs as well. And then once you get your 2 years experience, I believe you take like a recertification test and get your full ASE or something like that. I believe there's a process where that works that way. Applicants must include transcripts or certification for certificates, completed work experience reporting form, registration form, and fee payments. So ASC certifications aren't free. You do have to pay for them. If you're at a shop and you want to get your ASC certifications, talk to your managers and stuff like that. Most shops will pay for you to go get your test. However, if you're going to do that option, make sure you at least Google ASC practice test and take steps to ensure that you're going to pass the test. Most employers aren't very happy if they're going to pay for you to take a test and you end up failing them. They're not too terrible difficult if you study. They're pretty simple. As we go along in these classes, we take ASE questions and review questions. Those ASE questions will help you on the final test. It gets you prepared and kind of used to taking ASE style tests. You can find all registration info on ASE's website, which is ase.com. Tests given 8 months out of the year. There's 300 locations in the United States. So around here, Greenville, North Carolina, that is a testing site here in town. You can pay online, and you can also register by phone. Test taking techniques. I do have some test taking skills and things like that on my YouTube playlist that is shared in Canvas. So be sure to check that out. There's a video in there. It's very awesome with kind of helping take tests and things like that, making taking tests a lot easier, especially if you have good knowledge in the subject you're taking tests in, but you might just kind of lack some test taking skills and get confused on it. Please watch that video. It will help you a lot. So some of the test taking techniques, you want to read each question slowly and carefully. You also want to look for hints. ASE questions, you'll see in this class when we take those questions, they are two technician statement questions. There's many of those. They like to use those a lot. So you have two technicians, and it will say technician A says you should do this. Technician B says that you should do this. And you have to decide who is correct, who is wrong, if they're both correct or if they're both wrong. So you kind of want to look at them. You want to put yourself in their shoes, as in if you're trying to perform the repair or whatever yourself, how would you perform it? The best thing to do is to break it down. When it says technician A should say this, focus just on technician A. Figure out if they're right or wrong. Then look at technician B after you come to that conclusion and figure out if technician B is right or wrong. ASE tests are designed to measure knowledge of three things: operation of systems and components, diagnosis and testing of systems and components, repair of system and components. All test questions are multiple choice. So there's only 4 possible answers. So all the tests are going to be multiple choice. There's no written answers or anything like that. All right. 1-part questions. So you will choose the best answer. You have 2-part questions. So you're going to read 2 statements and decide which is true. Negative questions, which will identify the incorrect answer. Completion questions. So you'll complete sentences. All of those are multiple choice, like I said before. So you're not going to write anything in. They are multiple choice. Test results. The results are usually available before leaving the test center. Usually by the time you get your car, get your stuff, get to the car, you'll look in your email and test results will be there. Only you will find out your results. You'll have to inform your employer if you choose to do that. If you pass, consider taking more tests. If you fail, study harder. before retaking. That's any test. If you do bad on the test, just study, and then retake it if you're going to retake it. Certification status. ASE certified automotive technicians. They're granted for each ASE test pass. ASE certified master automotive technician. They're granted after 8 automobile tests have been passed. So you have to take 8 tests, 8 of those tests to be a master technician. Certificates, wallet cards, and other things are awarded for each test passed. Optional sleeve or shirt patches, they're going to give that to you anyway. You get a nice little certificate, you can put in a frame, hang up on the wall. You get a patch you can put on your shoulder. It says ASE certified, and it will tell you if it's master certified, MLR, brakes, whatever it is, it will be on the patch. You can have it put on a uniform. You get a nice little card you can put in your wallet. They'll even give you a little sticker you can put on your card that says ASE certified. Now you do have to take a recertification test if you do get certified. You have to recertify every 5 years. Recertification test focus on recent developments. This ensures that technician keeps up with changes in technology. Like I said, cars technology changes constantly. It's constantly evolving and advancing. So they want to make sure you're up to date on the newest technologies. If certification lapse, you must take the regular certification to pass and regain your certification. So don't let it lapse. You want to take that recertification. You don't want to take the main test over again. All right, so test organizations and ASE certifications. Like I said before, this program, this textbook, it will all help you prepare for an ASE certification. It will give you content, the scope of learning, and organization. It's all developed with ASE test in mind. So ASE accredits our program. To make sure we're preparing you to pass the ASE certifications. So that's why it kind of sounds like a sales thing for ASE, but really ASE is the only program that automotive has to kind of show that you know what you're talking about when it comes to every manufacturer and things like that. Now, you can get into a dealership. When you work in dealerships, they have their own training and their own classes. So you can get certified at those dealerships for that manufacturer. So you can have a Nissan certification for engine and transmission, or Chevy or Ford or Mercedes or whoever. They all have their own certifications, but it's for that specific brand. Those are nice as well. You get a lot of good information. Some of those tests are kind of difficult. When I got my Nissan certifications, I actually had to do hands-on tests for certain things. So my transmission certifications, not only was it a written test, I had to actually tear apart a transmission and put it back together. And then the instructor had to look at it when it was torn apart. And then once it was put back together, make sure it was put back together properly. So some of them can be more difficult than others, but those are great certifications as well. If you're going to work in a dealership, let them send you to get those schools done. They pay for them. They'll pay for like your rental car, your hotel, because if you're working at a Nissan dealership, they got to send you all the way to Tennessee to take those certifications. But they're going to either pay you back, reimburse you, or pay for everything to go there and get certified. And like I said, it's great training. It's great stuff when you go to those as well. Talking about some other things. Go back here. Okay, so let me talk about some other things as well. So there's other types of careers, not just working on cars when it comes to the automotive industry. You have different jobs out there that you can do, such as a porter. That's a great starting point as a dealership, getting into a dealership. What a porter does is they kind of move cars around the dealership. So if you drive through the lots or drive by car lots, you'll see that every now and then, after a couple of weeks, they move the cars all around and rearrange them. That way people can see on the road what's new. porters help do that. So they'll move the cars around. They'll move cars to the detail lot so they can get washed. They'll drive the cars that are already detailed back to be put on the lot and things like that. They'll go get vehicles for customers that had their vehicles repaired, pull them up to the shop so that they don't have to walk very far. It's not a very high paying job, but it's a very good foot in the door type of job. You have PDI and used car inspectors. So PDI is pre-delivery inspections. That's how I started in this industry. I started at a Ford dealership as a PDI used car dealer, used car inspector. So what that is every new car or every car they traded for that's a used vehicle or cars that they got from auction or whatever it may be, I would do the oil change on it. I would look over the vehicles, write up any repairs it needed, if it needed brakes, if it needed tires, if it needed air filters, belts, if it had damage somewhere it needed, like a broken tie rod or a damaged tie rod or needed shocks or something, give it to the used car manager. They would look at the market value, how much all that stuff costs to repair, and make a decision on whether it's valuable to repair it and be able to make a profit off of it, or just sell it off to a used car dealership that's going to sell it kind of damaged or whatever. Because dealerships want to sell you kind of a high quality vehicle. So anything they're going to sell isn't really going to have any problems. PDI. So pre-delivery inspection, or this is new vehicles that come off the truck. So when you get the new vehicles in on the lot, someone has to check to one, make sure it has all the options it's supposed to have. You won't believe how many times I've actually caught, a vehicle has one cloth seat and the rest of the seats are leather. Or it has the wrong wheels on it or something like that. There's silly things sometimes that get kind of messed up on the assembly process. So you kind of want to make sure that the sticker is showing what the options that the vehicle has on it. They're going to drive it, test drive it, make sure it drives good. There's no mechanical problems or anything, kind of like a quality control aspect of it, as well as do some things. Usually you have to put the antenna on. Some of these sports cars, they have little blocks on the springs to lift the vehicle up a little bit so they can drive it on and off the truck. You have to remove those. If you work at a Dodge dealership, you got to take those Dodge Challenger yellow splitter protectors off and throw them away. You see everybody driving around with them. That was kind of a joke. But yeah, so those are great jobs. That's where I started, and it was absolutely awesome. I mean, I didn't get paid a lot, but as an 18-year-old just starting out in the field, it didn't require a lot of tools. So I didn't have to spend a lot of money on tools at first. Just a couple $100 for, a socket set and a cheap impact gun was really all I needed. And I got to drive brand new cars every day. I was driving like 10 brand new cars every day, 5 miles down the road. Got to drive GT 500s and things like that. Before I left, they did order a Mustang, or not the Mustang, but the Ford GT. And to try to let me get to drive it before I left, kind of as a going away thing. But unfortunately, it didn't get delivered in time. So it kind of sucks. I've always wanted, that's like one of my favorite cars that Ford makes. I've always wanted to drive one, but it is what it is. So from there, I went to UTI, and then I moved up into independent shops. I've kind of moved around into some other dealerships and stuff as well. So you can see how it's a great stepping stone to get you into the door as far as working on vehicles and things like that. There's also other things you can do as well. If you look online, you'll see in the playlist and in the class, I show y'all Chris Fix videos. That's just a guy in his driveway fixing cars and stuff, making YouTube content, and makes a living off of that. So you can be a YouTube content creator. You can also be bloggers and editors. I have friends, that do editing for online magazines and stuff like that. I have friends that take pictures for online car magazines and things. So there's so much you could do. Most of the guys that do those editings and stuff like that, don't think you're just going to jump straight into that. A lot of them are very knowledgeable. They've been technicians for a number of years and kind of transitioned into that. So you do need a base to get to those points, but that's another option you can go. You can be someone, on Spike TV or whatever it is, showing how to do upgrades or repairs on vehicles. There's a lot of different options in this career that can do things. So don't think that you are going to be turning wrenches forever and ever and ever. You can always move to where you gotta go. Like I said before, the slide earlier, you have a lot of different levels. So you can start as an automotive technician and you can move up to a shop supervisor, the person that's going to oversee all the technicians in the shop and make sure everything's getting done. And then you can move up to a service manager. So you can be the person overseeing the shop supervisor, the shop, and the service writers, and making sure the whole shop is functioning and running smoothly and stuff. So you can also move up into management positions and kind of be overseeing things as well, not just doing oil changes and changing tires every single day. So there's a lot of different options you have out there as far as being an automotive technician or in the automotive career. So don't limit yourself, don't hold yourself down by thinking that, always, try to set your goal, figure out where you want to go in this career, and then set those small steps to achieve it. So hope this helps you guys. I will catch you next time on the next chapter. So yeah.